All right, Shalom, Shalom, Israel. This is Brother Azariah from W5 Jersey, Philly, coming back with another video, giving all honor and glory to the Most High Yahweh, which the world calls God, and Yahweh Shai, which the world calls Jesus Christ. Shalom, Shalom. Lord willing, you brothers and sisters, you continue to wax mightier in your faith, and if it be in the will of the Heavenly Father, you continue to wax mightier in the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding in this thing. All right? There's so many pages in the Bible. There's so much to eat, man. You can never say, oh, well, I had enough. You know, there's no more to eat. Brother, look at all these pages. You too, sisters. Look at all these damn pages, man. All right? There's always going to be more. So you should be increasing in faith, and you should be increasing in your wisdom, knowledge, understanding, as I just stated. All right, so with that being said, I'm going to be going or touching on the wilderness. As you can see, I'm kind of in the wilderness, man. All right? You know, so that's the spirit. All right? We in the last days, so brothers got to go over prophecy and things that's going to happen in the future. All right? Because our salvation draws near. All right? Nearer and nearer each day. Like me and the brothers was talking about last night at camp. It was what, 11 days in a row where you had the moon being red. All right, you had a blood moon. All right, for 11 nights straight, and then you had for 11 days straight, you had the damn sun. When it starts to set, it's damn red. All right, or when it's rising. When it rose, when the sun rose up, it was red. When the sun was going down, it was red. All right? So clearly, we living in the last days, man. Our forefathers, they knew this. Let me get this in Hebrews 1 and verse 2. All right? So if you don't know it's the last days, then I don't know what you're doing. All right? You might as well call yourself sleep. All right? This is the book of Hebrews 1 and verse 2. It says, hath in these last days spoken unto us by his Son, speaking of Yahweh Shai, whom he hath appointed heir of all things, by whom also he made the worlds. So even the men of the Lord in the days of Christ, or even after, a little bit after, they understood that they were living in the last days. The days of Christ, those were the last days. So how much more now? We're in the, what, year of 2021, so-called? All right? 2021, may be one of the last years that we have on this earth. All right? I'm going to say that because you see the damn, the times, man, the signs of the times. All right? So I'm going to get this in 2nd Ezra 15:1, and we're going to get right into the topic. This is 2nd Ezra 15:1. Behold, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy, which I will put in thy mouth, saith the Lord. All right? So the Lord, he's putting the words of prophecy in our mouth, so we're going to go over prophecy. All right? So we're going to break this whole thing down using Ezekiel, the 20th chapter. All right, Ezekiel 20 pretty much breaks down the whole entire thing through the Spirit. All right, and we're going to add precepts, of course. All right, that's how you get the understanding. We're going to add precepts unto this so you can get a full and broader understanding of what's going to take place in these last times. All right, so this is the book of Ezekiel 20, and I'm going to start at verse 33. It says, as I live, saith the Lord Yahweh, surely with a mighty hand and with a stretched out arm and with fury poured out, will I rule over you. So I'm going to read it and then I'm going to go over it. It says, and I will bring you out from the people and will gather you out of the countries wherein ye are scattered, with a mighty hand and with a stretched out arm and with fury poured out. So I'm going to finish it. It says, and I will bring you into the wilderness of the people, and there will I plead with you face to face, like as I pleaded with your fathers in the wilderness of the land of Egypt. So will I plead with you, saith the Lord Yahweh. And I will cause you to pass under the rod, and I will bring you into the bond of the covenant, and I will purge out from among you the rebels and them that transgress against me. I will bring them forth out of the country where they sojourn, and they shall not enter into the land of Israel. And ye shall know that I am the Lord. All right? So we're going to read this again, and we're going to break it down now. This is the book of Ezekiel 20 and verse 33 from the top. It says, as I live, saith the Lord Yahweh, surely with a mighty hand and with a stretched out arm and with fury poured out will I rule over you. And I will bring you out from the people and will gather you out of the countries wherein you are scattered, with a mighty hand and with a stretched out arm and with fury poured out. So we know Israel is scattered all over the earth. That's Ezekiel 36 and 19. All right, you got countless other precepts. So the Lord is telling you, I'm going to redeem you out of the land of your captivities, man. So this is salvation. All right. This is not saying, well, we're gonna just have to live in America all our damn life. Or if you living in Britain or France, Spain, wherever the hell you may be at, you're not gonna have to dwell there much longer, man. The Lord, He's coming to save us in these last days. I'm gonna get one precept. I'm gonna go to Amos 9 and verse 14. All right, it's the book of Amos. All right, bear with me. Actually, I'm gonna get Ezekiel since we already here. I'm gonna get Ezekiel 34 and verse 13, I believe it is. All right, so this is the book of Ezekiel 34 and verse 13. All right, it says, "And I will bring them out from the people and gather them from the countries and will bring them to their own land." All right, so that's what the Lord's gonna do. He's gonna take us. All right, He's gonna take us from the land of the heathens and bring us into our homeland, Israel. It says, "And will bring them to their own land and feed them upon the mountains of Israel by the rivers and in all the inhabited places of the country." All right. So plain upon tables, the Lord, He's speaking of redeeming us out of the land of our captivity. All right. And He also said, "I'm going to do it with a stretched out arm and with fury, just like the Egypt of old." All right. Remember, let me get this in 2nd Ezra 5 and verse 42. All right. The Lord, He does the same thing over and over again. All right. In the world, they say history repeats itself. Well, that's in the Bible. It's the book of 2nd Ezra 5 and 42. "And He said unto me, I will liken my judgment unto a ring." All right. So a ring, we know a ring is a circle, pretty much. All right. And it just continues on and on. It's in the same motion. So the Lord said, when it comes to my judgment, all right, I'm going to liken my judgment unto a ring. So if I destroyed Egypt in this manner, the old Egypt in that manner, now the new spiritual Egypt, it has to be destroyed in the same manner. If I saved Israel with a stretched out arm in the old Egypt, now in the new Egypt, I'm going to do the same. That's what it means when it says, "And He said unto me, I will liken my judgment unto a ring." So the Lord's going to do the same thing all over again, but in a different fashion. All right. It says, "Like as there is no slackness of the last, even so there is no swiftness of the first." So the last time He didn't do it with slackness. The Lord didn't wait too long. All right. The shot clock then ran out. Then the Lord said, all right, now I'm going to save Israel. That's not what happened. All right. The Lord saved Israel within the shot clock. And it says there is no swiftness. Let me read it again. The latter end, it says, "Even so there is no swiftness of the first." So the first time, hey, you had our people in there building up different cities for damn Pharaoh. All right, working in the hot sun. The sun you got here in America, the heat waves and the different temperatures you feel in damn Texas, that's not like what we was feeling in Egypt, man. That sun out there is hot. And on top of it, you walking in the sand. So the sand is damn scorching your damn feet, man. So we was working in hardcore bondage. That was a bad spot. Now, in that time, we was probably crying to the Lord every day, "Please save me. When is the Lord going to save me?" Just like here in America. They said, well, if God's real, why the hell am I still here in America? Why do I have to go work a 9 to 5? Why I got to do this and that? Why my kids struggling to eat? Why I can't pay my rent? The same thing they was doing that back then. I could barely eat. I'm hungry. It's hot. I don't got enough clothes on to protect me from the heat. When is the Lord going to save me? Well, the Lord, He didn't do it on Israel's time. He did it on His time. That's the same thing that's going to happen now. There's no, just like there wasn't any swiftness in the first salvation, there's not going to be a swiftness in this one. Oh, because I'm crying. Let me just go and cry to the Lord and demand that the Lord come and save me now, and then the Lord going to come and save me. That's not what's going to happen. The Lord does everything on His own time and His own season, man. All right? So let me read that again one more time in Ezekiel. All right? So Israel, you got to be patient. All right? You got to wait on the Lord, man. All right? There's no rush in the Heavenly Father. The Lord might destroy you if you do that. All right? So this is Ezekiel 20 and 34. It says, I will bring you out from the people and will gather you out of the countries wherein ye are scattered, with a mighty hand and with a stretched out arm and with fury poured out. So when the Lord redeems us out of this current Egypt, He's doing it with anger. All right, the Lord, He's up there in the heavens. He's angry at the oppressions that have been done towards our people, man. Let me get this in Zechariah 1 and verse 15. All right, so this is the book of Zechariah. All right. Bear with me. All right, Salakia. It's the book of Zechariah 1 and verse 15. All right, Zechariah 1 and 15, and it says, I am very sore displeased with the heathen that are at ease. So the Lord said he's angry that the heathens, they're in this land and they're at ease. You think the so-called white man is struggling? Esau's not struggling. Only time you see these Edomites struggling is when they fall away from the path that was laid for them. The golden, listen, we talk about red carpets. Esau and the other nation, they have golden carpets laid out for them. Their parents got their schooling planned out. All right, they got what degree they're gonna get. They said, yo, you're gonna major in this. I laid the pathway for you, and you're gonna be a doctor. You're gonna be a scientist. You're gonna work for NASA, whatever the case may be. Meanwhile, Jake, you happy if you get a job at McDonald's, man. You happy if you get into the college that's around your city, man. Hey, you happy. Hey, you might not have a college in your city. You might have to go to Esau's land, all right, and where Esau's dwelling at, or Moab, or whatever the case may be, and you got to hope to get into a school out there. All right, it's too dangerous in your hood. There's no colleges in your hood. All right, no professors want to work there. All right, so the heathens, they're at ease right now, man. All right, like I said, they got that golden carpet. And Jake, you got the old raggedy dirt road, man. You got to take the raggedy dirt path. And you got to hope you make it. All right? There's no directions. All right? All the signs that they once pointed you somewhere, now they're all destroyed and diminished. Jake, you don't got a damn thing. So the heathens are at ease, and the Lord, he's angry at that. Because they're at ease at They're at ease because they're basically standing upon our backs, man. All right, so they're using us. If it wasn't for us, they wouldn't be at ease. All right, the White House wouldn't exist. I always say the stoplights wouldn't exist. All right, you see these different parks you guys set up. I'm sure Jake created the park, man. All right, the slide. What else? The swings. All right, and you got Esau. They bring their family to the park and, hey Jimmy, you want to go on the slide or you want to go on the swing? All right. So these things, they wouldn't be at ease if it wasn't for us. And the Lord, he's angry at that. Let me read this again. This is Zechariah 1 and 15. It says, and I am very sore displeased with the heathen that are at ease. For I was but a little displeased, and they helped forward the affliction. So the Lord, he's not happy that we're in the land of our captivity. All right, that we're being oppressed daily, day in and day out by a baser people, a lesser people than us. The Lord is angry with that. So the Lord, he's going to redeem us out of this captivity. Just like in the old Egypt. He was angry that his people was under Pharaoh, man. All right? And he destroyed Egypt. He saved us and destroyed Egypt with a stretched out arm, man. This is the book of Exodus, the 15th chapter. All right? This is Exodus 15, and I'm going to start at verse 2. All right? It says, the Lord is my strength and song, and he has become my salvation. He is my God, and I will prepare him an habitation. My father's God, and I will exalt him. It says, the Lord is a man of war. The Lord is his name. So he already told you in the days of old. He said, I'm a man of war. All right, the Lord don't play games. All right. Yes, the Lord is long-suffering. Yes, he has mercy. All right. He has compassion towards his saints. But when it's time to get down, when it's time to work, all right, the Lord, he's not slack concerning his works, man. The Lord is not Jake that's lazy to, Jake is lazy to go to work. Jake don't want to go to work. All right. We all have experienced it. Say, for example, you work at 6 a.m. Now, your alarm clock may go off at 5 because you got to get ready. You got to shower, brush your teeth, get dressed, and then drive there. All right. You got to remember to commute. Now, that alarm come on, you like, I don't want to get up. And you put it on snooze. And then you end up waking up at 6 o'clock and you late for work. The Lord, he's not late when it comes to doing his work, man. When it's time to destroy Egypt, all right, he's going to come on time, all right? He's not clocking in 6:00. He's supposed to be in at 6. He clocking at 6:10, Salakia, or 6:05. No, the Lord's going to be right at the door when the time is right, man. And he's going to destroy the heathens. So the Lord, he's a man of war. He's not playing games, man. When it's time to come out and thrash people, hey, that's what the Lord's going to do. Remember, he said, I'm going to get this in the book of Psalms, all right? This is Psalms 46 and 9. All right, I'm going to go back to that in Exodus. All right, this is the book of Psalms 46 and 9. It's talking about the Lord. I start at verse 7. It says, the Lord of hosts is with us. That word host means armies. So the Most High, he has armies up there in the heavens. His armies is the angels. All right, you got the angels on the left-hand side, and you got the angels on the right-hand side. And they're all at the Most High's power. All right, they all have to answer to the Heavenly Father and his only begotten Son, Yahushua. All right, it says, the Lord of hosts is with us. The God of Jacob is our refuge. Salah. Come, behold the works of the Lord. What desolations he hath made in the earth. So the Lord, he destroyed things. Look at the flood. That's a desolation. All right, look at Egypt. That's a desolation, man. Look what happened to Nineveh. That's a desolation. Babylon of old. That's a desolation. The Persian and Mede Empire. That's a desolation. The Greeks, the Romans. The Lord has destroyed all these other nations. He has made this. He made the kings of this earth desolate, man. All right, verse 9. He maketh wars to cease unto the end of the earth. It says, he breaketh the bow and cutteth the spear in sunder. He burneth the chariot in the fire. Be still and know that I am Yahweh. I will be exalted among the heathen. I will be exalted in the earth. The Lord of hosts is with us. The God of Jacob is our refuge. Salah. So the Lord, he burns chariots. He's not going and he's asking the man that's on the chariot, can you please come off the chariot? All right, here, I'll give you $5. All right, the Lord's not a damn child, man. The Lord said, I'm a man of war. He doesn't have to beg nobody. He doesn't have to answer to no one. All right, he don't got to pay a ransom to nobody, man. He don't owe nobody no money. He doesn't owe man a damn thing, man. When it's time to end wars, the Lord's going to come and do it. How do you end war? You end war with war. That's why the Lord said again, I'm going to read it one more time in Exodus 15. All right. So this is the book of Exodus 15 and verse 3 again. All right. This is Exodus 15 and 3. It says, the Lord is a man of war. The Lord is his name. Pharaoh's chariots and his hosts he hath cast into the sea. His chosen captains are also, it's like his captains also are drowned in the Red Sea. So the Lord, he drowns men. See, the Lord, you see in the scriptures playing upon tables, man. I can't even damn get it out. The Lord, he's not this nice man. All right. The Lord, he's not this guy that just wants to please everybody. All right. The Lord, he will drown you if he has to, man. All right. And he drowned Pharaoh's men in the sea. Verse 5. It says, the depths have covered them. They sank into the bottom as a stone. Thy right hand, O Lord, is become glorious in power. Thy right hand, O Lord, had dashed in pieces the enemy. It says, and in the greatness of thy excellency, thou hast overthrown them that rose up against thee. Thou sentest forth thy wrath, which consumed them as stubble. And with the blast of thy nostrils, the waters were gathered together. The flood stood upright as an heap, and the depths were congealed in the heart of the sea. The enemy said, I will pursue. So, see, the other nations are, well, in this time, Egypt and Pharaoh's men, they say, hey, we're going to get these Israelites, man. They not going nowhere. That's the same thing that's going to happen now. All right? Right now, they're trying to get Jake to take the vaccine. Why? Because they understand that our salvation is near. They don't want to allow you to be saved. That's them pursuing you. That's their way of pursuing you. Then when Jacob's trouble comes, they're really, really going to pursue you, man. Knocking at your door. Is Azariah here? Is such and such here? All right? And it's going to be so bad, they're going to pursue you there's going to be such a heavy pursuit on Jake that the Lord said you're going to have to run into the wilderness, man. Hey, and when you run into the wilderness, don't go back home and say, I forgot my favorite Jordans. All right? I forgot my Jordans. Oh, I forgot my tools for the wilderness. If I don't go back home, I'm not gonna make it. You don't go back, man. You run into that wilderness and you run as fast as you can, man. That's like here in this situation. You see, we understand here what's taking place. The Lord is describing what happened in the Exodus. When he parted the Red Sea through the hand of Moses, he parted the Red Sea. All right, in Israel, they were walking through the Red Sea to the other side. Then the Egyptians, they pursued us. All right. Now imagine a couple Israelites. They was like, hold on, I kind of forgot something in Egypt. Let me go back. All right. Then this Israelite, he walks back. He walks back and going towards the men of Egypt, and then now you kind of seeing the waters closing up on the Egyptians. Now this man that goes and follows them, the water's going to close up on him as well. That's what's going to take place to you. All right, or that's going to happen. That's what's going to happen if you try to go back into Egypt, man. There's no going back into Egypt, man. You keep your head up and you look forward and you get the hell out of this land, man, as fast as possible. All right, I'm going to read this again. This is the book of Exodus 15 and verse 9. It says, the enemy said, I will pursue, I will overtake, I will divide the spoil, my lust shall be satisfied upon them. Because the heathens, they're lusting to destroy you. It says, I will draw my sword, my hand shall destroy them. Thou didst blow with thy wind, the sea covered them, they sank as lead in the mighty waters. All right. So playing upon tables, the Lord, he destroyed Egypt with a stretched out arm, man, and a mighty hand. All right. The Lord said he's going to do that again. All right. Let me get this in 2 Ezra 15 and verse 8. So the same way the Lord, he saved Israel with a stretched out arm, all right, and a mighty hand, the Lord's going to do the same thing in this new Egypt. Because remember, for those that may not know, I'm going to grab it because everybody doesn't know this. This is the book of Revelation 11 and verse 8. All right, this is Revelation 11 and 8. It says, and their dead bodies, this is talking about Israel, and their dead bodies shall lie in the streets of the great city. The great city is Babylon. All right, because when Trump was in office, he said, make America great again. All right, people, when they look at America, they say, that's America the Great. All right, that's a great land. All right, you know, the land of the bold and the free. They look at this place as if it's the damn kingdom, man. That's how they look at this place. This is the great city right here, which spiritually is called Sodom because they love homosexuality here in Sodom. Anything sexual, they love it here. All right, that's why at the click of your fingers, you can kind of watch porn. At the click of your fingers, all you gotta have is $5. You got $5.99, and you can go watch a woman on OnlyFans. All right, you can watch, if you're a man, you can watch another man for $6. All right, that's an abomination. But this is what takes place here in America, the great city, which is spiritually called Sodom because there's sodomy, and Egypt, where also our Lord was crucified. So this is also Egypt. We're serving in hardcore bondage just as the old Egypt. All right. So the same way, again, like I just explained to you, the Lord destroyed the old Egypt, all right, with a mighty hand. The Lord's going to do the same thing again. It's the book of 2 Ezra 15, and I'm going to read verse 8. All right, I'm going to start at verse 10. Get right to the point. Stop you. All right. It's the book of 2 Ezra 15 and verse 10. It says, behold, my people is led as a flock to the slaughter. I will not suffer them now to dwell in the land of Egypt, but I will bring them with a mighty hand and a stretched out arm, and smite Egypt with plagues as before, and will destroy all the land thereof. So the Lord said he's going to smite Egypt, all right, this new Egypt, as he smote the old Egypt with plagues. Remember, the Lord destroyed Egypt with various different plagues. All right, let me get this in Psalm 78. I'm going to start at verse 43. All right, so in these last days, don't look for nothing else but plagues coming on this earth. All right, you see, there's different plagues on the earth. Like you got coronavirus, that's a plague. All right, that's a small plague. All right, that's nothing. All right, they say what, it killed millions of people. Well, the Lord, with his place, he's going to kill billions of people, man. All right, try to process that in your mind. All right, this is the book of Psalm 78 and 43. It says, how he had wrought his signs in Egypt and his wonders in the field of Zoan, and had turned the rivers into blood and their floods and their floods that they could not drink. So in the old Egypt, we understand, I'm going to grab it real quick in Exodus 9 and 20. All right, we understand that the Lord, he caused their waters to turn into blood in the old Egypt. All right, this is the book of Exodus. All right, this is Exodus 9, and I'm going to start at verse 20. All right, it says, he that feared the word of the Lord among the servants of Pharaoh made his, Slakia, bear with me. Make sure this is what I want. Salakia, bear with me, Israel. Come on, that's not what I want. All right, bear with me 1 second. All right, so that's the book of Exodus. Okay, it's Exodus 7 and 20. All right, so this is the book of Exodus 7. All right, in verse 20. All right, so Exodus 7 and verse 20. It says, and Moses and Aaron did so as the Lord commanded, and he lifted up the rod and smote the waters that were in the river in the sight of Pharaoh and in the sight of his servants. And all the waters that were in the river turned to blood. And the fish that was in the river died, and the river stank, and the Egyptians could not drink of the water of the river, and there was blood throughout all the land of Egypt. So that's what took place in the old Egypt. That's what we just read in Psalm 78. Now, in this new Egypt, the Lord, he's going to do the same thing again. Remember, the Lord said, I speak once, yea, twice, and man perceiveth it not, in Job 33, in verse 14. Now, if you look in the past few years, there's been a lot of bodies of water that have been turning blood red, and the fishes in the seas are dying. Now, that's a similitude. That's to show you what's going to happen on a massive scale here in Babylon the Great. All right, so let's go to the book of Revelation, all right, 16, and I'm going to start at verse 3. All right, let's see how he's going to do this time. It's the book of Revelation, all right, 16 and verse 3. I want to hold that in Psalms. All right, this is the book of Revelation 16 and verse, I'll start at verse 3. It says, and the second angel poured out his vial upon the sea, and it became as the blood of a dead man, and every living soul died in the sea. All right, it says, and the third angel poured out his vial upon the rivers and foundation of the waters, and they became blood. Now, the waters is talking about the other nations. All right, let's get Psalms, since we hear Psalms 144. All right, in verse 7. So this is the book of Psalms. All right, Psalms 144 and verse 7. And it reads, it says, send thy hand from above, rid me and deliver me out of great waters, from the hand of strange children. The strange children are the strangers, the other nations. All right. So here when it says the angel poured out his a veil upon the rivers and foundation of water, and they became blood. It's talking about the nations. The Lord, he's going to destroy these nations, and their bodies are going to be cast forth all over the earth. That's prophecy. Let's go to Jeremiah 9 and 22. Slacky. All right, this is the book of Jeremiah. All right, I'm trying to hold all these damn precepts, and the wind's not making it easier neither. All right, bear with me. Get this thing in order. All right, so this is the book of Jeremiah. All right, I'll start at verse. I'll just get Jeremiah 16 and 4. This is the book of Jeremiah 16 and verse 4. It says, they shall die of grievous deaths. They shall not be lamented, neither shall they be buried, but they shall be as dung upon the face of the earth. And they shall be consumed by the sword and by famine, and their carcasses shall be meat for the fowls of heaven and for the beasts of the earth. And that's literal. So you're going to have so many dead bodies out here. These fowls of the air, the birds, they're going to come down and have a feast out here on men's flesh, man. They're going to devour man's flesh. If you aren't repentant as a so-called black, Hispanic, and Native American and keeping God's commandments, and you're going to end up out here, and you're going to end up dead out here. Your body's going to be cast on the earth as dung, and you're going to have different birds coming from to and fro all right, and eating on you and devouring you, nibbling on you, man. All right, and your soul is it's already gone. All right, your soul's gonna be gone. You just going your carcass just gonna be there, man. You're gonna be eaten up. All right, let's get another one in Jeremiah 9 and verse 22. All right, this is the book of Jeremiah 9 and verse 22. All right, it says, "Speak, thus saith the Lord, even the carcasses of men shall fall as dung upon the open field, and as the handful after the harvestmen, and none shall gather them." All right, so you see here playing upon tables, you're going to have men dying out here, man. All right, I'm going to get one more. I believe I want this. All right. So this is the book of Isaiah 51 and verse 6. It says, "Lift up your eyes to the heavens, and look upon the earth beneath. For the heavens shall vanish away like smoke." Now the heavens that it's speaking of is talking about the rulership of man. All right, it's not talking about the actual heavens you see here. All right, let's prove that. Let's go to Isaiah 34 and verse 5. All right, so this is the book of Isaiah 34 and verse 5. All right, it says, I said at verse 4. It says, "And all the hosts of heaven shall be dissolved, and the heavens shall be rolled together as a scroll. And all their hosts shall fall down, as the leaf falleth off from the vine, and as a fallen fig from the fig tree. For my sword shall be bathed in heaven. Behold, it shall come down upon Idumea, which is Esau, and upon the people of my curse to judgment. The sword of the Lord is filled with blood. It is made fat with fatness, and with the blood of lambs and goats, and with the fat of kidneys of rams. For the Lord hath a sacrifice in Basra, and a great slaughter in the land of Idumea." So he's telling you, he just told you that heaven, all right, is going to be, his sword is going to be bathed in the blood of heaven. And then he further showed you that he's going to use his sword to destroy and shed the blood of Idumea, which is Esau. So that's showing you that heaven is not really talking about the actual heaven, all right? It's talking about the rulership of man. It's talking about man, all right? Esau's on top. Esau's in the heavens. Remember, let me get another one, Isaiah 14 and verse 12. All right, this is the book of Isaiah 14 and verse 12. It says, "How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer?" Lucifer is Esau. Esau is the light bearer. All right, the light is the wisdom of this world. All right, every nation, when it comes to wisdom, they want to come to America, or they want to go to some Edomite school. All right, the top schools on the earth are Edomite schools, man. They ruled this earth. The Lord said, this is what the Lord said about them. It says, "How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer?" Esau's not falling from the damn sky. All right, that's not what's happening. Esau's falling from his rulership. His kingdom is slowly but surely being depleted. It's falling. Their stocks is falling. All right, their currency is falling. The dollar is dropping. And China's kind of their money currency is kind of going up. And China, they want to make a cryptocurrency the main currency on the earth. So you see, Esau, they're falling. Lucifer, the light bearer, they're falling from heaven. "Son of the morning, how art thou cut down to the ground, which didst weaken the nations?" Because Esau weakened the nations with their different philosophies and doctrines. All right, they got them damn drunk. All right, the Chinese, man, they think if they wear a suit and a tuxedo, well, they kind of living their best life. They're doing what they supposed to be doing. All right. Likewise, the Indian, man, and the other nations, man, they follow after Esau. All right. Any wisdom Esau accumulates or grabs and brings to themselves, the other nation, they run. "Oh, well, Esau got that." You see, remember, America created nukes. And now look, you got Elamites got nukes. You got Moabites, they got nukes. Ham got nukes. All the nations of the earth, they now have nukes. They have weakened the nations. Because ultimately, these very nukes that they're building, they're going to destroy themselves with those. All right, so Esau has weakened the nations. But what? They have fallen from heaven. All right, so let's go back to this in Isaiah 51 and 6. It's Isaiah 51 and verse 6. It says, "Lift up your eyes to the heavens, and look upon the earth beneath. For the heavens shall vanish away like smoke." So man is going to be destroyed. "And the earth shall wax old like a garment. And they that dwell therein shall die in like manner. but my salvation shall be forever, and my righteousness shall not be abolished. So the Lord, he's telling you, I'm going to destroy the heavens of this earth, those that are on top, the rulership of man, and then I'm going to save Israel, the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. All right? So here when you read in Revelation 16 and verse 3, where he speaks about the rivers turning into blood, it's talking about the nations and man as a whole. All right? The Lord is going to have these different angels pour out their veils, and different plagues are going to come on the earth. One of those plagues is the rivers, which is the nations, they're going to turn into blood. A lot of people are going to be destroyed, man. Remember, let me get this real quick. I'm trying to hold these damn precepts. But let me go to 2nd Ezra 8. All right. So this is the book of 2nd Ezra 8, and I'm going to start at verse 1. It says, and he answered me, saying, the Most High hath made this world for many. So this world here it has a lot of people on this earth. You got a lot of men dwelling here. All right. They'll tell you in the Bahamas, the whole Bahamas as a whole, I believe they said there's about 150 billion people there. Those are all Israelites for the most part. So as small as the Bahamas are, you have 150 billion people living there. Or 150 million, I believe it says, Salaki. All right, there's 150 million people living there. How much more in America? How much more in Russia, Iran, all right, the UK, France, Spain, Italy, all right, Germany, all these different places on the earth. You have a whole bunch of men dwelling on this earth. So he told you, I'm going to read it again. This is 2nd Ezra 8 and 1. And he answered me, saying, the Most High hath made this world for many, but the world to come for few. So there's going to be a lot of people, they're going to be destroyed, man. All right? The population is not going to be as it is here on this earth. You got the other nations thriving, and they damn multiplying their seeds on the earth. That's not what's going to happen. The Lord's going to destroy them here in America, man. Majority of them going to be destroyed in America, all right? Or not even just in America, here in this current world that we live in, period. All right? So this is Revelation 16 and 3 from the top. It says, and the second angel poured out his veil upon the sea, and it became as the blood of a dead man. And every living soul died in the sea. And the third angel poured out his vial upon the rivers and fountains of waters, and they became blood. And I heard the angel of the waters say, thou art righteous, O Lord, which art and what and wast and shall be, because thou hast judged us. For they have shed the blood of the saints and prophets, and thou hast given them blood to drink, for they are worthy. So being that the other nation, they have destroyed us and shed our blood, the Lord, he's going to bring judgment to them. Remember, if you touch Israel, you're touching the apple of the Lord's eye. Now, when you touch the apple of somebody's eye, they kind of are jammed up, they eye hurting, they're going like this. All right, it's not it's not a comforting feeling. All right, it doesn't feel good to get poked in your damn eye, man. Well, that's what the nations have done. They poked the Lord in his eye by touching and dealing falsely with the children of Israel, man. You see what they have done to us? Now, they made us look like thieves, all right? When you see the so-called black man coming to a store, any store, or even the damn grocery store, man, they kind of checking you out. They looking at you, and if they can't see you through the aisles, then they go in their back room and looking in the cameras. They never check the cameras, but then when Jake walk into the damn store, they kind of checking the cameras, man. All right? They've made us look bad. The Lord's not dealing with that, man. The Lord, he's very angry and sore displeased with the heathen that are at ease, man. Like we read in Zechariah 1. So the angel said, hey, you are righteous because you have judged us. They have shed our blood, so you have given them blood to drink. All right? So pretty much that's all I wanted on that. All right? So that's one of the plagues that's going to come back on the earth. All right? That took place in Egypt. Let's go back to Psalm 78 and verse 43. All right? So this is the book of Psalms 78 and verse 43. It says, how he had wrought his signs in Egypt and his wonders in the field of Zoan, and had turned their rivers into blood and their floods that they could not drink. So as we just read in the old Egypt, and he literally turned the waters into blood. Now in this new Egypt here that we're living in, the nations They're the rivers, and they're going to be turned into blood, meaning they're going to be destroyed and killed and slain on the earth. All right? Continuing on to verse 45. And it says, he sent diverse sorts of flies among them, which devoured them, and frogs, which destroyed them. That's another thing that's mentioned in Revelation, the 16th chapter. Start at verse 13. All right? So these, in the times of old Salakia, in the old Egypt, all right, the Lord, he plagued Egypt, and there was frogs all over the place, man. All right? The same thing's going to happen again. All right, so this is the book of Revelation 16, and we're going to start at verse 13. All right, so this is the book of Revelation 16 and 13. It says, and I saw 3 unclean spirits like frogs. Now, 3 is just a number of completion. All right, it's not literal. All right, let's get a precept on that. Let's go to 1 Samuel. All right, 3, and I'm going to start at verse 6. All right, so this is the book of 1 Samuel 3 and verse 6. I'm going to start at verse 5. 1 Samuel 3 and 5. It says, I start at 4. It says, that the Lord called Samuel, and he answered, here am I. And he ran unto Eli, and said, here am I. For thou calledest me. And he said, I called not. Lie down again. And he went and lay down. And the Lord called yet again, Samuel. And Samuel arose. Slacky. Let me read that again. In verse 6, it says, and the Lord called yet again, and Samuel. And Samuel arose and went to Eli, and said, here am I. For thou didst call me. And he answered, I called not. My son, lie down again. Now Samuel did not yet know the Lord, neither was the word of the Lord yet revealed unto him. And the Lord called Samuel again the 3rd time, and he arose and went to Eli, and said, here am I, for thou didst call me. And Eli perceived that the Lord had called the child. So it took 3 times for Eli to realize that the Lord, he was dealing with this man, with this child, man. All right? So that's showing you 3 is completion. All right, let's go to another one in John 21. All right, John 21 and verse 15. All right, so this is the book of John. All right, bear with me. I'm trying to hold these damn precepts, man. All right. Okay. All right, so this is the book of John 21 and verse 15. All right, and it reads, it says, so when they had dined, Yahushua said to Simon Peter, Simon, son of Jonas, lovest thou me more than these? He saith unto him, yea, Lord, thou knowest that I love thee. He saith unto him, feed my sheep. So that was the first time. Verse 16, he said to him again the 2nd time, Simon, son of Jonas, lovest thou me? He saith unto him, yea, Lord, thou knowest that I love thee. He saith unto him, feed my sheep. He saith unto him the 3rd time, Simon, son of Jonas, lovest thou me? Peter was grieved because he said unto him the 3rd time, lovest thou me? And he said unto him, Lord, thou knowest all things. Thou knowest that I love thee. Yahushua saith unto him, feed my sheep. All right. So you have here where you see we got 2 precepts where the Lord is showing you 3 is a number of completion. So here, let's go back to Revelation 16 and 13. So this is Revelation 16 and 13. And I saw 3 unclean spirits like frogs come out of the mouth of the dragon. The dragon is Esau, the so-called white man. All right. It says, and out of the mouth of the beast, Esau, the beast is made up of Edomite nations, and out of the mouth of the false prophet, Esau is also the false prophet. Because remember, Esau has they got monthly prognosticators where they'll tell you, well, this is gonna happen in the future, this is gonna take place. Then they got what the hell they call it, man? You got the weatherman. The weatherman, he think he knows what's gonna happen in the weather, man. Oh yeah, today's gonna rain and it's gonna snow that day. And they tell you it's gonna snow on Tuesday, it ends up damn raining. All right, they're the false prophet. They tell you in this land, they tell you, hey, they say this land, what the hell they say, man? They say this land is your land. How the hell that song go, man? This land is your land is my land, or something like that. Or my land is your land. That's what they say. They say this land is your land. My land is your land, something like that. Something to that effect. They sing that damn song in elementary school. That's a damn lie. This land is my land. This land is not yours, man. But they feel as if, hey, we can share this land together. We can become one. Because remember, they're trying to make this what they call it, this beast system. Some men call it the beast system, or what's another name for it, man? I forget what it's called, but they already have different meetings and different things called the United Nations. So they're telling you that they're trying to bring us all together. And that's what that song even means, really. All right? Whatever belongs to you, it belongs to me. Whatever belongs to me, it belongs to you. We are one. And they feel as if this is going to take place forever. As long as they force everybody to get the vaccine, they throw away Bibles, they throw away religions, then we're going to create this one religion for everybody. Hey, let's throw away the Indian currency. Let's throw away the so-called white man's currency. Let's make the cryptocurrency where we're all using digital currency. See, so they think that they're going to accomplish this. They think that one day they're going to cause us to all be one. Because just because you have, here in America, they call this place the melting pot. Everyone's here together in one place. But everyone's not together mentally. But that's what they want to cause to happen. They feel as if that's what's going to take place. You know, let's make a better future where we're all one. They'll tell you that in these damn commercials, man. These different commercials they got out here. Where they're trying to tell you, well, we're going to be one day. That's not going to happen. That's a false prophet. And that's Esau telling you that, man. Esau's coming up with this madness where we could be one people. We can never be one people, man. Some people came from Japheth, some people came from Ham, and some people came from Shem. Some people come from Isaac, some people come from this man. All right, we're not the same, man. Some come from Moab, some come from Esau. We're not the same no matter what. We have a different genealogy. All right, we have different forefathers. We can never be one. We're always going to be different, man. The Lord said he divided the nations. Meaning we're not the same and we can never be the same, man. All right? That's why they're the false prophet. So going back to the point, I'm going to start from the top. It says, and I saw, this is Revelation 16 and 13. All right? Revelation 16 and 13. It says, and I saw 3 unclean spirits like frogs. So the Lord likened these spirits unto frogs. Why? Because a frog, it leaps all over the place. You can't keep the frog in one place. All right, there's a lot of kid shows. I remember what the hell that show's called. I watched it as a child. All right. I believe it's called Princess and the Frog. All right, I was a young Jake and I watched that movie. Now, there was a scene in the movie where I believe the Jake, he turned to the frog, and I believe the princess was trying to catch him. And the frog kept leaping there and leaping there. Every time she tried to catch him, the frog would leap over there. Try to catch him again, the frog is leaping over there. All right, so these spirits, they're going to be like frogs going to and fro all over the earth, man. You can't stop them. You try to catch this spirit, then he kind of leaping. He go to UK. Then he kind of go to America. Then he kind of go to Germany. Then he kind of go to Brazil. Then he's damn in Africa, man. All right, so there's different spirits out here on the earth. All right, and they're causing perverseness on the earth. That's why it says they're unclean spirits. When you're unclean, you're defiled. You can't come unto anything holy. All right? So these spirits are out here and it's causing the earth to be defiled, and the earth is no longer holy. The earth is not clean. The earth is filthy and disgusting and dirty, man. It has to be cleaned by the Lord. So let me read this again. This is Revelation 16 and 13. And I saw 3 unclean spirits like frogs come out of the mouth of the dragon, and out of the mouth of the beast, and out of the mouth of the false prophet. For they are the spirits of devils working miracles. Because Esau, they're through these spirits that's hopping on them, they're making miracles. Remember, nukes was never a thing, like I said earlier. All right, America was the first nation to come up with nukes and these different bombs. All right, and we all know that the other nations followed. Now, that's a miracle. Remember, let me go to Revelation at 13. This is Revelation 13, and I'm going to start at verse 12. It says, "And he exercises all the power of the first beast before him, and causeth the earth and them that dwell therein to worship the first beast, whose deadly wound was healed. And he doeth great wonders, so that he maketh fire come down from heaven on the earth in the sight of men." That fire is talking about the nukes. All right, so America came into power, and they were able to create nukes that come down from the heaven. They shoot it off a launching pad, it goes up into heaven, and it falls down on its destination. All right, and it blows it up, destroys it. All right, so they're able. Esau is able to create miracles on the earth, man. Just like Yahweh Shai, he turned water into wine. All right, although they're not doing things like that, but Esau does have some wickedness going on. All right, they're doing different miracles in the background, man. Look at the music industry. From what I've heard and what I've seen through videos, because remember, majority of Jakes, when you was coming into the truth, or before coming into the truth, you was watching a lot of conspiracy theory videos. So I was watching things like that, dealing with the Illuminati. Now, they'll say with these different songs that these artists come out with, before they send it out there on the earth, they have their worthies, their wise men, their warlocks and witches. They'll kind of cast spells on it and play this tune on it and do a bunch of madness. That's miracles. Then when the song goes out there, the song is damn trash. All right, the song doesn't sound good at all. It sounds folly. All right, and you got Jake then playing it and bumping it. And, yo, this and that and that. They got Jake listening to songs that's talking about killing one another. That's a miracle, man. All right, that's a miracle. Cause a fool, hey, in our prime time, you could never get us to listen to no music that's talking about destroying ourselves. That doesn't make any damn sense. But through their wickedness on the left-hand side, they're doing these things. All right, they got miracles going on. All right, so this is Revelation 16 and 14. "For they are the spirits of devils working miracles, which go forth unto the kings of the whole world." All right, so the whole entire world is they're corrupted by these spirits. All right, to gather them to the battle of that great day of Yahweh Almighty. All right, so these spirits ultimately, these spirits that's out here like frogs, ultimately, like I said earlier, I believe I referred to it earlier, it's gonna cause these nations to destroy one another, man. All right, because remember, it just said Esau is a damn false prophet. Now, what happens when someone finds out that you've been making false prophecies? They kind of come out with stakes. Hey, let's kill this person. That's what the other nations are going to do. They're going to gather together, and they're going to want to destroy America, man. And then after that, they're going to destroy one another. It's just like when, for example, say you at the club. Are you at the club or you at the bar? You at the bar. Now, somebody kind of brings some strong drink. Now they kind of drug it up a little bit though. All right, you thought it was wine. You thought you ordered a what the hell they call it, a zucchini or something like that. All right, you thought you ordered this certain drink, and you kind of drink it, and then you damn black out, and then you wake up, and you all jammed up. You don't know where you at. You on the highway, naked. All right. Desolate, you got cars about to damn run you the hell over, man. All right, and you look all bugged out, but somebody drugged your drink and made you do that. That's what America and the so-called white man has done. They have drugged the other nations with their perverseness. When they wake up from that drunkenness, now you trying to who the hell drugged me? Who the hell gave me that wine? You kind of go revisit the bar, then you ask the bartender, who the hell gave me this drink? All right. Then you start questioning what's going on. That's what the other nations, they're beginning to do that now. They're questioning the so-called white man and his false prophecies. Then now they're just trying to destroy them. All right, that's why China, they talk about destroying America. All right, Esau want to destroy one another. Russia want to destroy America. All right, So this perverse spirit is ultimately going to bring them to the great day of Yahweh Almighty. First, it's going to bring them to World War III. Then the Lord's going to come down with his angels and the elect. And then they're going to turn their attention from each other and try to fight the Heavenly Father. And they're going to be wiped out from existence, man. All right? And they're going to be slaves in the kingdom. All right? So that's what's going to take place, man. All right? So let's go back to Psalm 78. And we left off at verse 45. It says, and he sent diverse sorts of flies among them, which devoured them, and frogs, which destroyed them. All right? So you see how these frogs of old destroyed them. Now in the new Egypt, these frogs we just read is going to bring them to the day of the Most High. All right, the day of wrath. What's going to happen in the day of wrath? They're going to be destroyed, man. All right? So let's continue on. Verse 46. He gave also their increase unto the caterpillar and their labor unto the locust. So in these last days, again, you're going to have locusts here on the earth as well. That's Revelation, the 9th chapter. We're going to start at verse 3. I'm going to start at 1. All right, so this is the book of Revelation 9 and verse 1. All right, hold this. So this is the book of Revelation 9 and verse 1. It says, and the fifth angel sounded, and I saw a star fall from heaven unto the earth, and to him was given the key of the bottomless pit. And he opened the bottomless pit, and there arose a smoke out of the pit as a smoke of a great furnace. And the sun and the air were darkened by the reason of the smoke of the pit. This is the point, verse 3. And there came out of the smoke of the Slaki, and there came out of the smoke locusts upon the earth, and unto them was given power as the scorpions of the earth have power. So you see here how the Lord, he's bringing back these locusts, man. All right. So the Lord, he didn't get tired of using the locusts, man. When he used the locusts on the old Egypt, he said, no, I'm gonna kind of use these again. All right. In the new Egypt, now these locusts are not actual locusts. Some men may break it down that way, but if you easily go through the precepts, you understand it's not talking about that. Actual locusts. So let's go to Revelation 9 and 11. All right, to prove that. This is Revelation 9 and 11. And they had a king. All right, it's still talking about the locusts. It says, and they had a king over them, which is the angel of the bottomless pit, whose name in the Hebrew tongue is Abaddon, but in the Greek tongue hath his name Apollyon. So these locusts have a king. Now, what did the Lord say about actual locusts? Let's go to Proverbs 30 and 27. All right. So this is the book of Proverbs 30 and verse 27. All right, and it reads, it says, the locusts have no king. All right, I'm going to read that again. The locusts have no king, yet go they forth, all of them by bands. All right. So plain upon tables, these can't be actual locusts, because that will mean that the scriptures is contradicting itself. These locusts is actually talking about the helicopters. Because you notice also, let me get another precept. You notice if you look at the helicopters, sadly I'm doing my video off my iPhone, so I should have done it off my computer. I would have been more edifying. I could have showed you visuals, but you can look it up on yourself or on your own. All right, you can clearly see that these helicopters were created after the image of the locust. The Lord told you that in the book of Job. All right, so this is the book of Job 12, and I'm going to start at verse 7. All right, so this is Job 12 and 7. It says, but ask now the beasts. The beasts are the different animals, insects, bugs you see on the earth. Those are the beasts. All right, it says, but ask now the beasts, and they shall teach thee, and the fowls of the air, and they shall tell thee. All right, or speak to the earth, and it shall teach thee, and the fishes of the sea shall declare unto thee. So you have a lot of these things that the other nation will create, and you find out that they got the idea from the beasts of the earth. Like I said earlier, you look at the locusts. The locusts and the helicopter, they're one and the same. How did the other nations come up with the helicopter? Via the locusts. The Lord said, ask the beasts, and they shall teach thee. Now that's not saying you actually go up to a locust, kind of grab them up and damn talking to the locust, man. That's not what he's talking about. Meaning you look at creation and it'll show you how to create more things. All right? They created all types of different things, cars and planes. Look at the plane. The plane is clearly made after a bird. It has the wings as a bird, or it has the beak like a bird does, so it can dive. All right? So you see that man uses the beast and creates different things. So these locusts, going back to Revelation 9 and 3, are actually talking about the helicopters. So let me read this again. This is Revelation 9 and 3. It says, "And there came out of the smoke locusts upon the earth, and unto them was given power, as the power of scorpions of the earth have power." Because you see, a scorpion, he uses his stinger. Now his stinger, it hits you and it poisons you, man. And you kind of dazed. You may live for a couple hours. You survive for a few hours. Then slowly but surely, you damn die and you vanished away as the smoke. Let's go to Revelation 9. Revelation 9 and I'll start at verse 10. It says, "And they had the tails like unto scorpions, and there were stings in their tails, and their power was to hurt men 5 months." Now, this is not a literal 5, all right? This is again a spiritual number. 5 is also spiritual. Let's go to Matthew 25. All right. So this is the book of Matthew 25 and verse 1. All right, so this is the book of Matthew 25 and 1. It says, "Then shall the kingdom of heaven be likened unto 10 virgins, which took their lamps and went forth to meet the bridegroom. And 5 of them were wise, and 5 were foolish." So remember, the Lord told you in Sirach 33 in verse 14 on down, really 13 through 15, that all his works are 2 and 2, one against another. So you're going to have evil set against the good, and you have good set against the evil. So here you read about 10 virgins. 5 of them were wise, and 5 of them were fools. So a complete amount of them were wise, and a complete amount of them were fools. So you have here 5 is just a complete amount of a complete number, or another number for completion. All right. So let's go back to Revelation 9 and 10. It says, "And they had tails like unto scorpions, and there were stings in their tails, and their power was to hurt men 5 months." So when these locusts, these helicopters come out of that smoke, all right, which is World War III, you're gonna have these helicopters come out, and they're gonna cause chemical warfare. You can look it up. They use helicopters for chemical warfare. That's the stinger, because with chemicals you poison men. Just like, for example, if you were to drink damn bleach, that's a chemical. If you drink bleach, you may survive for a few hours. 5 hours you may survive. And then slowly but surely you're dying within those 5 hours though. So the Lord, he's going to bring back these locusts on the earth, and they're going to cause chemical warfare. They're going to drop chemicals on the earth. And then men, they're going to be tormented for 5 months, a complete amount of time. You're going to have men coughing off the chemical. I can't breathe. All right, and it may last for 5 days. They may live for another 5 days. They may live for a week, and they're going to be tormented, though. Because remember, when poison enters your system, it's slowly but surely going through your veins and getting in contact with other parts of your body. So it's destroying you, all right, from the inside out. And it's slowly doing that. It doesn't just happen. All right, a bullet, you shoot somebody in the head, they're done. They're finished. But when you poison them, all right, with the poison of a scorpion, it torments them for a certain amount of time. So that's what's going to happen on the earth. The Lord's going to send forth these locusts. They're going to cause chemical warfare. It's going to torment man for a certain amount of time. All right. So that's the locust being revived. You see, the Lord, he's reviving the plagues that he brought on Egypt of old onto the new Egypt. He's reviving it. He kind of made it new again. He kind of changed this up a little bit. All right. In the times of old, it was physical locusts, physical frogs, physical water turned into blood. Now it's more spiritual. We're more so living in a spiritual manner. Now you got to go through the precepts and break it down and see what's going on. All right. So let's go back to Psalm 78. All right. Psalm 78. All right. In verse, we was at 46. All right. It says, he gave also their increase unto the caterpillars and their labor unto the locusts. He destroyed their vines with hail and their sycamore trees with frost. He gave up their cattle to the hail and their flocks to hot thunderbolts, man. So he destroyed their cattle with hot thunderbolts. Now we know through the scriptures, man is referred to as beast. Cattle is beast. The cow is a beast. The sheep is a beast. All right? Man is beast. That's Psalms 49 and 12. Psalm 73 and 22. Ecclesiastes 3 and 18. All right, and there's various other precepts. All right, Acts the 10th chapter, where he's talking about man and referring to him as beast. So the Lord, he destroyed the beast of old in a literal manner. He actually destroyed their beasts with hot thunderbolts. Now the Lord, he's going to destroy man with hot thunderbolts, man. Let's go to Wisdom of Solomon. All right, let me hold this down. Wisdom of Solomon 5, and I believe I want to start at verse 20. All right. So this is the book of Wisdom of Solomon 5, and I'm going to start at 20. It says, his severe wrath shall be sharpened for a sword. It's talking about the Lord. And the world shall fight with him against the unwise. The world is talking about Israel. The unwise is the other nations. Because remember, the other nations, they're going to stop fighting in World War III when Yahweh Shai comes down with the angels and the elect. And they're going to try to fight against him. The world of Israel, the elect men of Israel, they're going to stand in great boldness and fight against the other nations with the Heavenly Father and the angels, man. All right? So that's what it's speaking of. It says the world shall fight with him, with the Lord, against the unwise, which the other nations. Verse 21. Then shall the right aiming thunderbolts go abroad, and from the clouds, as from a well-drawn bow, shall they fly to the mark. The clouds is talking about the chariots, man. All right, let's get Psalms 103. All right, in verse 4. So this is the book of Psalms 104 and verse 3 is what I want. All right, this is Psalms 104 and 3. It says, who laid the beams of his chariots, it's like it, who laid the beams of his chambers in the waters, who maketh the clouds his chariot, who walketh upon the wings of the wind. So he said he makes his chariots, he makes his clouds his chariots. So when you read in the scriptures, he's talking about clouds. For sometimes he's talking about actual clouds. But when you're looking on the spiritual eye and you're really paying attention, you see that a lot of times he's talking about his chariots. All right. So the Lord just told you in Wisdom of Solomon 5 and 20 through 21 that he has his right aiming thunderbolts that's going to come from his chariots and it's going to destroy man. All right. So here we have, let me read this again in Psalm 78:48. All right. It says he gave up their cattle also to the hail and their flocks to the hot thunderbolts. The Lord's going to do that again. He's going to destroy man with his chariots, his hot thunderbolts, man. All right. So this is how the Lord, he's going to redeem us with a stretched out arm. All right. The same way he delivered us out of Egypt. All right. With these different plagues. All right. The Lord, he's going to do the same thing again. All right. So let's go back to Ezekiel, the 20th chapter. And you see, it took damn 30 to 40 minutes just to break down the damn plagues, man. All right. So let's go to Ezekiel 20 in verse, I'll read it from the top, verse 33. All right. This is the book of Ezekiel 20 and 33. It says, as I live, saith the Lord Yahweh, surely with a mighty hand and with a stretched out arm and with fury poured out will I rule over you. And I will bring you out from the people and will gather you out of the countries wherein you are scattered with a mighty hand and with a stretched out arm and with fury poured out. All right. So another point I want to touch on, also in the old Egypt, we actually watched the deliverance with our own eyes. That's going to happen here again. Let's go to Revelation 15 and verse 1. All right. Lord willing, that's us anyway. All right. So this is the book of Revelation 15 and verse 1. All right. Revelation 15 and 1. And I saw another sign in heaven, great and marvelous, 7 angels having the 7 last plagues, for in them is filled up the wrath of God. And I saw as it were a sea of glass mingled with fire, and them that had gotten the victory over the beast. Those that have victory over the beast are the elect. All right, meaning they came out of the world. They didn't succumb to the threatenings and the breathing out of fires that's coming out of the beast. Because the beast, he's going to come out and say this and that. He can kind of say, oh, the Black Hebrew Israelites, hey, they're a terroristic group and this, that. Then they're going to try to bring you to a FEMA camp. They're going to bring you before the judges, and you got to endure. Those that got put to death for this thing, they endured. All right? They got in the victory. Those that they survived Jacob's trouble, all right, by keeping the commandments and having faith, they have gotten the victory. All right? So this is Revelation 15:2. It says, and I saw as it were a sea of glass mingled with fire. Now the sea of glass is talking about the firmament. All right, the firmament is made up of glass. All right, this is the book of Sirach 43 and verse 1. All right, bear with me. All right, so this is the book of Sirach. All right, 43 and verse 1. All right, it says, the pride of the height, the pride of the height, the clear firmament. So just like glass is clear, the firmament is clear. That's why he likened the firmament unto glass, because it's clear just like glass. All right, I'm going to read this again. It says, the pride of the height, the clear firmament, the beauty of heaven with his glorious show. So the firmament is likened unto glass. All right, let's get another one. It's the book of Ezekiel 1 and verse 22. All right. So this is Ezekiel 1 and 22. It says, and the likeness of the firmament, all right, it says, and the likeness of the firmament upon the heads of the living creature was as the color of the terrible crystal stretched forth over their heads above. All right. So a crystal is clear. All right. Just like, let me see some. All right, just like this water bottle is clear, it's see-through. I could put my eyes through it and I could kind of see through things. I can see through it. All right, just like a crystal, you take a crystal and put it to your eye, you can see through it. You can see the trees over there, the swings, the park over there. All right. So he said the firmament above the creature's head, which is he's talking about the angels. All right, is like a crystal. All right, it's clear like a crystal, like glass. So that sea of glass is talking about those that got in the victory standing above the firmament and looking through the firmament, which is a sea of glass, and they see fire mingled in it. Meaning this earth is going to be destroyed. All right. Let me read this again. This is the book of Revelation 15 and verse 2. It says, I saw as it were a sea of glass mingled with fire. Now, how is this fire going to happen? It's going to happen via nukes, man. All right. This is the book of Isaiah 54 and verse 16. All right. This is the book of Isaiah 54 and verse 16. All right, and it reads, Isaiah 54 and 16. It says, behold, I have created the smith that bloweth the coals in the fire, and that bringeth forth an instrument for his work. And I have created the waster to destroy. The waster is talking about the nukes that's on the earth, man. Because there's going to be a whole bunch of nations gathered together, and they're going to burn America up with fire, man. All right. Let me get this in Jeremiah. All right. Jeremiah 50 and verse 14. All right. So this is Jeremiah 50 and verse 14. All right. And it says, Jeremiah 15:14. It says, put yourselves in array against Babylon round about, all ye that bend the bow. So if you look at an actual bow, it's shaped like a nuke. All right, look at the head of the nuke. All right, likewise the head of the bow is one and the same. All right, it's literally created the same. All right, so the bow is talking about the nukes. Now remember, the Lord said in Job 11 and 6 the secrets to wisdom are double to that which is. So this here is talking about actual Babylon, the Babylon of old. The nations gathered together and they physically shot physical arrows at Babylon and destroyed it and brought it low. But this is also going into the new Babylon. We know that this is Babylon too. The same way the old Babylon fell, the new Babylon has to fall in the same manner. But now in this age, do you see men using actual arrows? All right. There's nobody out here with damn arrows and they in the trees and all right. Nobody's like that no more. The new arrows is the nukes. All right. So they're gathering the nukes together round about. All right. It says all ye, continuing on. It says all ye that bend the bow, which is the nukes. All right. Well, the bow will be the launching pad. All right. Shoot at her. Spare no arrows, meaning don't spare any nukes. All right. It says, for she had sinned against the Lord. All right. So playing upon tables, the Lord, he's going to destroy Babylon with these nukes of fire. The very same fire that they are created to come down and fall upon other nations, the Lord's going to bend that against them and shoot it out them, man. All right. Imagine your own bow shooting yourself. All right. That's what's going to happen here in America. All right. So going back to Revelation 15:1, all right, verse 2 again, it says, and I saw as it were a sea of glass mingled with fire, and them that had gotten the victory over the beast and over his image, and over his mark and over the number of his name, all right, stand on the sea of glass having the harps of God. All right, so that glass mingled with fire, the glass, the firmament, the fire is Babylon and the nations being destroyed by these nukes. We're going to actually watch our enemy fall in these last days. All right? You should want to see your enemy fall. Let me get this in Sirach 25 and verse 7. All right? This is the book of Sirach 25 and verse 7. All right? And it says, there be 9 things which I have judged in my heart to be happy. In the 10th I will utter with my tongue. A man that had joy of his children, and he that liveth to see the fall of his enemy. So the elect is going to stand on the firmament and watch their enemy fall. Like a good movie. You know, a good action movie. And you kind of got the popcorn and, all right, you chilling and relaxing. All right, hey, that's how it's going to be for the elect. They're going to have harps in their hands. All right, instead of having, you got the remote, kind of trying to skip and fast forward a little bit. All right, I'm trying to see this man die. No, we're going to have harps in our hand, all right, and singing for joy, man. All right, we're going to see the fall of our enemy. Just like, let's get another one in Tobit. All right, Tobit 14 and verse 13. All right, Tobias was able to see the fall of Nineveh. All right, remember Tobias, he's from the tribe of Naphtali. Naphtali was brought into servitude under the Assyrians. The Assyrians, they ruled over Nineveh. All right, that was the very nation that was oppressing Tobit and Tobias people. All right, the Israelites, well, the northern kingdom. All right, and he got to see that place fall. All right, this is the book of Tobit 14. I'm gonna start at verse 13. It says, verse 13, where he became old with honor, and he buried his father Tobit, and mother-in-law honorably. And he inherited their substance and his father Tobit's. Verse 14. And he died at Ecbatane in Media, being 127 years old. But before he died, he heard of the destruction of Nineveh, which was taken by Nebuchadnezzar and Xerxes. And before his death, he rejoiced over Nineveh. See that? So that's what we're going to get to do, Lord willing. We're going to rejoice over Nineveh, man. Remember the other nations, they made us a song, and they said, let me get this in Psalms 137 and 7, man. They made mockeries out of us concerning our music. All right, let me get this. It's the book of Psalms 137. I'm going to read verse 7. All right, no, Psalms 137 and verse 3. It says, I start at verse 1. It says, by the rivers of Babylon, there we sat down. Yeah, we wept when we remembered Zion. That's happening now. We're sitting in Babylon. Sometimes certain brothers, they come and sit next to the tree stump, and they kind of sit back and they meditate. Damn, I'm still in Babylon. I'm in the land of my captivity. All right, and we're remembering Zion. The trees used to be beautiful, green. The grass was beautiful. You had the birds in the air. All right. You had the doves coming through. You had the great water of river of Jordan abounding. All right. All right. And it's prime time. We sit down in Babylon and we think of all these things. We meditate upon these things. All right. Verse 2. We hanged our harps upon the willows in the midst thereof. Because there's nothing to be happy about. There's nothing to dance about. You see Jake is in the church dancing and singing with harps. There's nothing to dance about, man. There's nothing to be happy about. You're in the land of your captivity. The Lord says, surely oppression maketh the wise man mad. You could tell who's wise and who's not. All right, the wise men, they kind of hanging their harps upon the willows. There's nothing to sing to. There's nothing to dance to. All right, verse 3. It says, for there they that carried us away captive required of us a song. And they that wasted us required of us mirth, saying, sing us one of those songs of Zion. So when they brought us into captivity, they said, hey, I want to hear one of those songs. I want to hear the songs of Zion. All right? Well, guess what? You're going to hear the songs of Zion when we're standing upon the firmament watching this place burn and fire with harps in our hands, man. Then you're going to hear the damn songs of Zion, man. That's what's coming to this earth. We're going to watch the fall of our enemies in these last days. And that's a mighty thing. You should want to see your enemy fall. All right? So let's go back to Ezekiel, the 20th chapter. All right? So this is the book of Ezekiel 20. All right, Ezekiel 20 and verse 34, one more time. It says, and I will bring you out from the people and will gather you out of the countries wherein you are scattered, with a mighty hand and with a stretched out arm and with fury poured out. And I will bring you into the wilderness of the people, and there will I plead with you face to face. So we understand in the old Egypt, all right, well, in the old Exodus, all right, the Lord, Yahushai, he was pleading with us face to face in the wilderness. Because some people don't understand that the Lord didn't just poof and he just appeared here in the New Testament. All right, the Lord, he's always been of old. All right, this is the book of 1 Corinthians 10 and verse 1. All right, got this damn Edomites, man. This place gotta go. All right, this is the book of 1 Corinthians 10 and verse 1. It says, moreover, brethren, I would not that ye should be ignorant how that all our fathers were under the cloud and all passed through the sea. This is talking about Israel. All right, verse 2. And all were baptized unto Moses in the cloud and the sea. It says, and did all eat the same spiritual meat, and did all drink the same spiritual drink. For they drank of that spiritual rock that followed them, and that rock was Hamashiach. So that rock that followed us in the wilderness was our Lord Yahushai. All right? So Yahushai was in the wilderness with us, pleading with us face to face. All right, let's get another precept on that. Let's hold this. Let's go to the book of Exodus 23 and start at verse 20. All right. So this is the book of Exodus 23 and verse 20. All right. And it says, behold, I send an angel before thee to keep thee in the way and to bring thee into the place which I have prepared, which was the land of Canaan, which ultimately became the land of Israel. We took it from them. It was inherited. All right. The Lord gave it to us. We took it from the nations, which is Canaan. All right. And it became our land. All right. So the Lord said, I'm sending an angel before you that's going to bring you into that land that's prepared unto you, the land of Israel. Verse 21, it says, beware of him, all right, and obey his voice. Provoke him not, for he will not pardon your transgressions, for my name is in him. So this angel that we're reading about in Exodus, which is in the wilderness, all right, his name, the name of the Heavenly Father, Yahweh, is also in this angel. Now, let's see who that's talking about. Let's go to John 5 and 43. All right. So this is the book of John 5 and verse 43. All right, John 5 and verse 43. And it says, this is in red letters. All right, so that means that's Yahushua speaking. All right, so this is John 5 and 43. It says, I am come in my Father's name, and ye receive me not. If another shall come in his own name, him ye will receive. So just like we read about that angel in the wilderness, having the name of the Heavenly Father in him, Yahweh Shai just said, hey, I come in my Father's name. That's telling you that angel that the Lord sent before us in the wilderness, that was talking about Yahweh Shai. All right, let's further prove that. Let's go to Exodus 14 and verse 19. All right, so this is the book of Exodus 14 and verse 19. All right, and it says, and the angel of God, which went before the camp of Israel, removed and went behind them, and the pillar of cloud went before Slakia. This is Exodus 14 and 19. And the angel of God, which went before the camp of Israel, removed and went behind them, and the pillar of the cloud went from before their face and stood behind them. All right. So this precept actually correlates with 1 Corinthians 10 and 1 through 3. He was with us in the wilderness. That's that angel. All right, let's get one more. Let's go to Isaiah 63 and verse 9. All right. So this is the book of Isaiah 63. And I'm gonna start at verse 1. All right, so this is Isaiah 63 and verse 1. It says, who is this that cometh from Edom? All right, which is this Esau. All right. Who is this that cometh from Edom with dyed garments from Basra? All right. This is that glorious, this that is glorious in his apparel, traveling in the greatness of his strength. I that speak in righteousness with mighty to save. Verse 2. It says, wherefore art thou red in thine apparel, and thy garments like him that treadeth in the wine fat? Because Yahweh Shai, when he comes on the earth, he's not coming with peace and safety. He's coming to destroy his enemies, man. And he says, who is this that's coming from Basra, Edom, the so-called white man? All right. This is talking about Yahweh Shai. All right. Let's prove that. Let's go to Revelation 19 and verse 11. All right. This is the book of Revelation 19 and verse 11. All right. It says, and I saw heaven open, and behold, a white horse. And he that sat upon him was faithful and true, and in righteousness he doth judge and make war. His eyes were as a flame of fire. This is talking about Yahweh Shai, the Lord. All right. His eyes were as a flame of fire, and on his head were many crowns. And he had a name written that no man knew but himself. And he was clothed with a vesture dipped in blood, and his name is called the Word of God. All right, which is Yahweh Shai. So when we're going to Isaiah 63, we read 1 through 2. All right, this is clearly talking about the Lord because he has his garment dipped in blood. All right, now let's skip to verse 9. This is the point I wanted. This is Isaiah 63 and verse 9. All right, I start at verse 8. For he says, surely they are my people, children that will not lie. So he was their Savior. In all their affliction he was afflicted, and the angel of his presence saved them. The angel of Yahweh's presence is Yahweh Shai. All right. And the angel of his presence saved them. In his love and in his pity, he redeemed them, and he bare them and carried them all the days of old. But they rebelled and vexed his Holy Spirit. Therefore, he was turned to be their enemy, and he fought against them. All right. Because he destroyed those that rebelled against him in the wilderness. All right. So let's go back to Ezekiel. All right. The 20th chapter. So when he said, I'm going to plead with you face to face, just like he was with us in the wilderness, in the new wilderness, the Lord Yahweh Shai, he's going to plead with us face to face. He's going to actually be among us. You're going to get to see your Lord and Savior, man. All right, face to face. So this is Ezekiel 20 and 35. It says, and I will bring you into the wilderness of the people, and there will I plead with you face to face, like as I pleaded with your fathers in the wilderness. All right, so he's telling you straight up, I was with your fathers in the wilderness. I didn't just pop up in the New Testament. All right, I've been here. All right. It says, like as I pleaded with your fathers in the wilderness of the land of Egypt, so will I plead with you, saith the Lord. And I will cause you to pass under the rod, and I will bring you into the bond of the covenant. So the Lord, he's going to bring us into a new covenant. All right. This cuts the whole, that whole doctrine where they say, well, we're in a new covenant right now. All right. Well, if we're in a new covenant, tell me why none of these things that we just read, we just went, what, an hour and 29 minutes of prophecy that did not take place yet. None of those things happened yet. He said when those things happen, after they happen, then I'm gonna bring you into the new covenant. You see, people try to go into these precepts in the Hebrews. They like to go to Hebrews to try to say, well, we're in a new covenant. We can't be in a new covenant, man. All right. He told you, I'm gonna bring you from the lands where you're scattered. All right, and then you're gonna receive the new covenant. So if we're in a new covenant, how is it that we're still scattered? We literally read. Let's go to James real quick. All right, and they say James, the book of James, was written in around 65 BC through 85 BC. All right, so that's long after Yahushua came on the earth. All right, now this is what happened. This is what he said in that time. This is James 1:1. James, a servant of God and of the Lord Yahushua Mashiach, to the 12 tribes which are scattered abroad, greeting. So they try to say, well, in the New Testament is telling you that we're in a new covenant. Well, here in the New Testament, James is saying the 12 tribes are still scattered abroad. But the Lord just told you that in the new covenant, well, before the new covenant comes in, I'm going to bring you out of the lands which you're scattered in. But yet in the new covenant, the New Testament, where it supposedly said that we're in a new covenant, all right, it's saying that we're still scattered abroad. See, that don't make sense. We're not in a new covenant yet. All right. We'll know when we're in a new covenant. All right. This is the book of Jeremiah 31 and verse 31. All right. Jake got to know what's going on these last days and stop listening to these damn Christian pastors, man. All right. They don't know what's going on. They don't know what's good for you. This is the book of Jeremiah 31 and verse 31. Behold, the days come, saith the Lord, that I will make a new covenant with the house of Israel and with the house of Judah. Not according to the covenant that I made with their fathers in the day that I took them by the hand to bring them out of the land of Egypt, which my covenant they break, although I was an husband unto them, saith the Lord. But this shall be the covenant that I will make with the house of Israel after those days, saith the Lord. I will put my law in their inward parts and write it in their hearts, and will be their God, and they shall be my people. All right. So we understand the law is not in our inward parts. I was dealing with a Christian, when was it? Two to 3 weeks ago. All right. Whenever the most recent new moon was. All right. I was dealing with a Christian, and he tried to say, well, we're in the new covenant. I said, well, I went to this precept, and I said, well, it says the law will be in our inward parts. And I said, what does that mean? And then he gave his answer, and I said, well, what that really means is that the law will be in our minds, and we don't have to really think about it too hard. We know the laws, and he agreed upon that. Now, I asked him, I said, so for example, in the ancient world, say your wife, for example, say you was jealous of your wife, meaning you thought your wife went and slept with another man, but you didn't have proof. I said, how would you go about that in the old world according to the law? Because remember, the law says, the new covenant, in the new covenant, we'll have the law in our inward part. So you should know this law. And he paused, he looked up in the sky, and I don't know. And I said, see, that's to show you we're not in the new covenant, because the law is not in our inward parts. You don't know what to do in that law. All right? You don't know how that goes on. You don't know what you would do. All right? So therefore, the law is not in our inward parts. There's a lot of laws that brothers don't know in their minds. All right? That's they can just at the snap of the finger say, okay, this is going into this. This is what we have to do here. Da da da. A, B, and C. So we're not in the new covenant. That's a cut. All right? Verse 34. This is Jeremiah 31 and 34. It says, and they shall teach no more every man his neighbor, and every man his brother, saying, know the Lord, for they shall all know me, from the least of them unto the greatest of them, saith the Lord. For I will forgive their iniquity, and I will remember their sin no more. So he just told you that we're not going to have to teach our brothers anymore when we're in the new covenant. Now, if we're in the new covenant, why is it that Paul, after the death of Yahushua, this is a cut. All right. I'm going to go to the book of Acts 13 and 14. All right. So remember, he said in New Covenant, we're not going to teach anybody anymore. All right. Is this what I want? All right, this is not what I want. I want, let me see, Acts, it may be 17. Okay, Con. I'm gonna use that one, Lord willing. All right, so this the one I want. All right, so here it says, I'm gonna read this in Jeremiah 31:34. It says, and they shall teach no more every man his neighbor, and every man his brother, saying, know the Lord. So clearly it says in the New Covenant, we're not gonna have to teach anybody about Yahushua and saying, know the Lord. All right, this is the Lord. It's not him, it's this one. It's this guy. All right, let's go to the book of Acts. Now, Paul taught after Yahushua's death. Remember, they say Yahushua brought in the new covenant. Now, let's see if that's true. So, let's start here. This is Acts 17, and I'm going to start at verse 2. It says, and Paul, as his manner was, went in unto them in 3 Sabbath days, reasoned with them out of the scriptures, opening and alleging, meaning he's showing them, he's proving it through the scriptures. All right. It says alleging. All right. It says, and Paul, as his manner was, went in unto them in 3 Sabbath days, reasoned out of the scriptures, opening and alleging that Christ must needs have suffered and risen again from the dead, and that this Yahushua whom I preach unto you is Christ. So Paul is teaching Israelites that the Lord is Christ. Now, if this is the new covenant, why is it that he's doing this? All right, this is a cut. Let's get another one. This is Acts 18. I'm going to start at verse 3. All right, I start at 4. It says, and he reasoned, it's talking about Paul again. It says, and he reasoned in the synagogue every Sabbath and persuaded the Jews and the Greeks. So he's persuading them. He's trying to convince them. Verse 5, and when Silas and Timotheus were come from Macedonia, Paul was pressed in the spirit and testified to the Jews that Yahushua was Hamashiach. So we're not in the new covenant yet. All right. That's a cut, plain upon tables, broad as day. We're not in the new covenant yet, man. All right. We will be in it soon. So in that new covenant, when the Lord calls us to go under the rod, all right, or under the bond of the covenant, all right, the law is going to be in our mind, and we're not going to have to go out there and teach Jake anymore. We're not going to, Jake, read the Bible, Jake. Kind of grabbing up the Apocrypha. Jake, you got to read this Bible. All right, we're not going to have to do that no more, man. Every man's going to know the Lord. All right. So it says 34 again, Jeremiah 31:34. And they shall teach no more every man his neighbor and every man his brother, saying, know the Lord, for they shall all know me, from the least of them unto the greatest of them, saith the Lord. For I will forgive their iniquity, and I will remember their sin no more. So the Lord, he's going to forgive us our sins, and we're no longer going to sin anymore. All right, that's plain upon tables. All right, and also in the covenant, all right, the Lord's going to cause us to have peace with the animals. Let me get Hosea. All right, Hosea, the 2nd chapter, is also going into the wilderness as well. All right, Hosea 2, and I'm going to start at verse 16. I want to get right to the point. All right, you could start at 14, but I'm going to start at 16. All right, I'll start at 14. This is the book of Hosea 2 and verse 14. Therefore, behold, I will allure her and bring her into the wilderness. The her is Israel. And speak comfortably unto her. That's the Lord pleading with us face to face. All right. Verse 15. And I will give her vineyards from thence and the valley of Achor for a door of hope. And she shall sing there as in the days of her youth, and as in the day when she came up out of the land of Egypt. And it shall be at that day, saith the Lord, that thou shalt call me Ishi, and shalt call me no more Baali. So we're gonna call the Lord by his name, all right, and we're no longer gonna call him by idolatrous names. That's what that's going into. Verse 17. For I will take away the names of Balaam out of her mouth, and they shall no more be remembered by their name. Verse 18, this is what I want. And in that day I will make a covenant for them with the beast of the field, and with the fowls of heaven, and with the creeping things of the ground. And I will break the bow and the sword and the battle out of the earth, and I will make them to lie down safely. So in this new covenant, when we pass under the rod of the covenant, we're no longer gonna have to worry about them getting bit by a mosquito. You don't gotta worry about going into the mountains and then damn a mountain lion come and devour you. No, the Lord, he's gonna cause us to have a peace with the animals, man. All right, and with the fowls of the air. All right, you know, you're not gonna have food out and you got a damn raccoon come and take your food and he kind of nibbling on it in the corner somewhere, man. And now you hungry. No, we're gonna have a covenant with them. Now you can have a pet giraffe if you want. You can have a pet lion, a panther. Hey, me personally, I want a panther. I want a black panther. All right. So in that kingdom, Lord willing, when we pass in the rod of the covenant, we're gonna be able to have these things. I'm gonna be able to have a damn panther if I want to, Lord willing. A lion, a wolf. Or being that I'm Benjamin A, I might want a pack of wolves, man. All right. So this is what's gonna take place in the wilderness. Let's get another one. Let's go to Ezekiel 34. All right, and I'm gonna start at verse 21. So this is the book of Ezekiel 34 and verse 21. All right. This is Ezekiel 34 and 21. It says, because ye have thrust with side and with shoulder, and pushed all the deceased with horns, till ye have scattered them abroad. Therefore I will save my flock, and they shall no more be a prey, and I will judge between cattle and cattle, and I will set up one shepherd over them, and he shall feed them, even my servant David. So David's gonna be a king over Israel. And he shall feed them, and he shall be their shepherd, and I, the Lord, will be their God. And my servant David, a prince among them, I, the Lord, have spoken it. And I will make with them a covenant of peace. So there's going to be peace in the land. Now in this world, there's nothing but violence. What the Lord said, now we're going to have peace. All right, we're going to finally be able to chill, relax. You don't got to worry about your kid going out there and he might die. He might be killed by the so-called white man. Or his brother might shoot him up, man. All right, you don't got to worry about these things anymore. You'll have peace. And will cause the evil beasts to cease out of the land, and they shall dwell safely in the wilderness and sleep in the woods. So this is not saying there's not going to be any beasts there. What it's saying is the beasts of the field, they're not going to have a malicious intent towards man anymore. Because remember now, if you go into the water, for example, or a lake, and there's crocodiles in there, 9 times out of 10, 8 times out of 10, that crocodile is going to devour you. Now when we're living in the wilderness, you don't got to worry about a crocodile trying to devour you, man. The crocodile is going to understand that he's not to eat man anymore. He's not to destroy the children of Israel. We're going to lie down in peace in the wilderness, in the woods, man. We're going to have peace with the animals. All right? Let me get another one. Let's get Isaiah 65. All right, Isaiah 65, and I'm going to start at verse 25. All right, bear with me real quick. All right. So this is the book of Isaiah 65 and verse 25. It says, the wolf and the lamb shall feed together. So now in this society, you don't got a wolf and a lamb feeding together. They eating damn grass together. No, the wolf is looking to feed on the lamb. In these last days, that's not going to take place. They're going to feed and eat together. And the lion shall eat straw like the bullock, and dust shall be the serpent's meat. They shall not hurt nor destroy in all my holy mountain, saith the Lord. So you see here is plain upon tables, the beasts of the field are no longer going to eat flesh. They're not going to eat man anymore. All right. He just said the serpent going to eat dust for his meat, man. All right. And the lion's going to eat straw. All right. So this is what comes with the covenant and many other things. Many mansions, All right, there's a lot of things that's gonna come with the covenant. All right, so let's go back to Ezekiel 20 and where we had left off. All right, so this is Ezekiel 20 in verse 36 again. It says, like as I pleaded with your fathers in the wilderness of the land of Egypt, so will I plead with you, saith the Lord Yahweh. And I will cause you to pass under the rod, and I will bring you into the bond of the covenant. And I will purge out from among you the rebels, and them that transgress against me. So in the wilderness, you're going to have men that's going to transgress against the Lord. When we're in the wilderness, I know brothers have this question. When we're in the wilderness, we're not going to have spiritual bodies. Now, when we get beamed up into the chariots, we're going to have a spiritual body. Then we get beamed back down to the wilderness. We're no longer going to have a spiritual body. Why? Because this has to take place. In the spiritual body, you're not going to sin. But in the flesh, you will. That's how you know that's how you know when we're in the wilderness, we're not going to be in our spiritual bodies. We're going to be in the flesh because you're going to have rebels, men that rebel against the Lord. Now, you may say, well, what's the point? What's the point of the Lord bringing us out of Egypt and then bringing us into the wilderness and damn having rebels in there, man? I used to have that question, but now I have the understanding because the things of old have to happen again, all right? The same way he saved us out of Egypt with a stretched out arm back then, he has to do it again now. And just like you're going to have, you had rebellious men back then, you're going to have rebellious people now, all right? You're going to have people, they're going to question the Lord. They're going to say, well, you know, the Lord, he did just save us from Egypt. We literally just stood upon the firmament and watched the nations burn in the fire. But I'm hungry. But I need something to eat. Where's the food at? Because he just said we're going to dwell in the wilderness. All right? The land is not going to be built up yet. All right? We still building ourselves up in this time, man. So we still going to have needs. We're going to have lack of things. All right, but the Lord, he's going to try to see who's going to have faith, who's going to endure. But you're going to have some men, they not going to endure. They're going to rebel against the Lord, man. Let's get this in Numbers 14 and verse 1. All right, so this is the book of Numbers. All right, Numbers 14 and verse 1. All right, Numbers 14 and 1, and it reads, it says, and all the congregation lifted up their voice and cried, and the people wept that night. And all the children of Israel murmured against Moses and against Aaron. So this time, you're going to have the children of Israel, and they're going to murmur against David and Yahushua. Why the hell are we here in the wilderness? You just saved us. Now just build up the kingdom. All right? Why are we in the wilderness? Why are we in the woods? I thought we was going to have cities of carbuncle, all right, buildings of gold. Where's this at? I don't see it. You're going to have people, they're going to question the Lord in that day, man. All right? It says, and the whole congregation said unto them, would Yahweh that we had died in the land of Egypt? Or would Yahweh we had died in the wilderness? And wherefore hath the Lord brought us unto this land, to fall by the sword, that our wives and our children should be a prey? Were it not better for us to return into Egypt? So you're going to have men saying these things. All right? And what happened to these men that rebelled against the Lord? Let's go to Numbers 16 and 28. This is Numbers 16 and verse 28. And Moses said, hereby ye shall know that the Lord hath sent me to do all these works, for I have not done them of mine own mind. If these men die the common death of all men, or if they be visited after the visitation of all men, then the Lord hath not sent me. But if the Lord make a new thing, and the earth open her mouth, and swallow them up, with all that appertain unto them, and they go down quick into the pit, then ye shall understand that these men have provoked the Lord, and they have provoked the Lord. Verse 31, and it came to pass, as he had made an end of speaking all these words, that the ground clave asunder that was under them, and the earth opened her mouth, and swallowed them up in their houses, and all the men that appertain unto Korah and their goods. So Korah was those that rebelled against Aaron and Moses. And the Lord, he caused the ground to open up underneath their feet and swallow them up, and he closed it up again. All right? So the same way the Lord destroyed those that were rebelling against him in the wilderness in the days of old, that's going to happen again. All right? Let's go to Numbers 11 and verse 1. This is the book of Numbers 11:1. And when the people complained, it displeased the Lord. And the Lord heard it, and his anger was kindled. And the fire of the Lord burnt among them and consumed them that were in the uttermost parts of the camp. And the people cried unto Moses, and when Moses prayed unto the Lord, the fire was quenched. So you see that? So you're going to have men, they're gonna perish in the wilderness, man. Why? Because they were rebellious. Now, I know another question that may pop up in your head. What's going to happen to those that perish in the wilderness? Well, for being a will of the Lord, they're going to be regenerated back in when we're thriving and the kingdom is built back up. All right, through our seed line. Because understand, we're going to have kids. All right, so they're going to be brought back, all right, into the kingdom. All right, because the Lord, he told you all Israel is going to be righteous. So there's going to be a point where Israel is going to all be righteous, man. All right, even those that was rebellious, all right, they're going to come back and they're going to dwell in safety, Lord willing. All right, so let's go back to this in Ezekiel 20:38. It says, and I will purge out from among you the rebels and them that transgress against me. And I will bring them forth out of the country where they sojourn, and they shall not enter the land of Israel. And ye shall know that I am the Lord. So they're not going to, just like in the days of old, you had certain men, Caleb and Joshua, all right, with the end, alongside with the men that were under 20 years old, they entered into the chosen land, all right, the land of Canaan, which became the land of Israel. They didn't have to die first, though. But these men, they're going to have to die first, and then they'll be able to enter into the Holy Land, all right? You know? So with that, Lord willing, this was edifying to at least one brother or even one sister. I want to give all honor and glory to the Most High Yahweh, which the world calls God, and Yahweh Shai, which the world calls Jesus Christ, and Kwam Yashala.